Long before Jungkook's car arrived at the venue, countless fans had already gathered outside. Many had been waiting since the early morning, enduring the weather, standing in long queues, and holding onto the hope of seeing him for even a few seconds. Their devotion is remarkable because it goes beyond typical fandom behavior. ARMY has always been known for its loyalty, but their presence at a fashion show, an event that traditionally caters to press, influencers, and industry professionals, shows just how much they want Jungkook to succeed in every arena. When he finally emerged, their patience was rewarded. Fans screamed his name, waved their light sticks, and captured videos that would soon flood social media platforms. Within minutes, hashtags related to Jungkook and Calvin Klein began trending worldwide. Clips of him stepping onto the carpet, smiling slightly, or adjusting his jacket became viral content that millions of people replayed again and again. It is in these small but powerful moments that Jungkook's star power becomes undeniable. While fashion shows are often portrayed as glamorous and elite, there was something emotional about this particular arrival. For many fans, seeing Jungkook step out of the car in Calvin Klein clothing was symbolic. It represented how far he had come from being a young trainee in Busan with dreams of singing to becoming a global ambassador who commands the attention of both the music and fashion industries. Some fans even admitted that they felt tears in their eyes when they heard the loud cheers. Because it was not just about seeing a celebrity. It was about witnessing someone they have supported through years of hard work finally take another step toward global dominance. The mix of pride, admiration, and sheer joy created an atmosphere that felt almost like a concert rather than a fashion event. Industry experts are already speculating that this Calvin Klein show might break multiple records thanks to Jungkook's involvement. Social media metrics suggest that engagement surrounding the event could surpass anything the brand has seen before. In the past, luxury fashion shows have generated buzz primarily within fashion circles, but Jungkook's arrival has opened the doors to a much wider demographic. Consider this: BTS has one of the most powerful fan bases in the world, and Jungkook, as one of the most popular members, carries a digital footprint that very few individuals can match. Whenever he appears in public, trends follow. If this pattern continues, Calvin Klein could very well experience a surge in brand visibility, sales of specific items worn by Jungkook, and unprecedented global attention for their runway show. In other words, this is not just another event, it could become a milestone in fashion marketing history. The Calvin Klein brand has always been associated with boldness, simplicity, and timelessness. From iconic underwear campaigns in the 1990s to sleek denim collections, the brand has built its legacy on combining minimalism with cultural relevance. Yet, in recent years, fashion brands have had to evolve rapidly to keep up with changing markets. The younger generation, particularly Gen Z, values authenticity, diversity, and cultural connectivity. This is where Jungkook becomes essential. He embodies the qualities that resonate most with modern consumers: authenticity, artistry, and global appeal. Unlike traditional models or celebrities who may only connect with Western audiences, Jungkook's influence spans across Asia, North America, Europe, and beyond. His involvement is not just a marketing decision, it is a cultural alignment. Calvin Klein does not merely want a face for its campaign. It needs someone who represents the future of global fashion identity, and Jungkook fits that role perfectly. The narrative of this moment is not just about Jungkook's success, it is also about his fans' journey. ARMY has always positioned itself as more than a fandom. They are a community that uplifts, protects, and promotes their idols. Seeing Jungkook walk into the Calvin Klein show feels like a collective achievement. In a way, ARMY is not just watching him succeed. They are succeeding alongside him. The screaming outside the venue, the online trends, and the emotional reactions of fans represent a shared story. Jungkook may be the one wearing the clothes and walking into the building, but the support system that carried him there is visible in every cheer and every camera flash. The world has seen many celebrity-fueled fashion collaborations, but the scale of Jungkook's involvement is unique. His musical career, his identity as part of BTS, and his solo ventures have all contributed to his image as a once-in-a-generation star. When that image is paired with the power of Calvin Klein's global branding, the result is not merely a campaign, it becomes a cultural phenomenon. For the music industry, this signifies how idols can transcend their primary roles and dominate other industries. For the fashion industry, it highlights how much influence musicians, especially those from outside the Western world, now hold in shaping global fashion trends. And for fans, it is simply a moment to celebrate a moment where they can point and say, "That's our Jungkook. He made it here." It is rare for one person to dominate a room full of industry elites. Yet, Jungkook did exactly that. The reason is not merely his popularity, but the way he carries himself. Even without singing a note, he radiates presence. His black Calvin Klein ensemble, tailored with clean lines that accentuated his frame, reflected the brand's signature aesthetic, minimalistic, modern, and unapologetically bold. But it was not just the clothing that stood out, it was the man wearing it. As Jungkook took his seat, whispers traveled quickly across the venue. Editors from major fashion magazines noted how seamlessly he fit into the environment. Photographers focused their lenses, and social media personalities scrambled to capture images and videos for their audiences. It felt as though Jungkook wasn't simply attending the show, he was elevating it, turning it into a global event that would resonate far beyond the walls of the venue. The division between fans waiting outside and those watching online blurred almost instantly. While only a select number of people could enter the show, millions were following live updates through social media. Clips of Jungkook stepping out of his car, entering the building, and even adjusting his jacket inside spread like wildfire across platforms such as Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. What makes this phenomenon remarkable is that it demonstrates the merging of two worlds: the traditional exclusivity of high fashion and the accessibility of digital fan culture. Fashion shows once thrived on being closed-door events, accessible only to the privileged few. But Jungkook's presence forced the industry to acknowledge a new reality: when he is involved, the world is watching. His fans ensure that no moment goes unnoticed, creating a ripple effect that reaches people who might never have engaged with a Calvin Klein show otherwise. Clothing in fashion is never just about fabric, it is about meaning. Jungkook's outfit for this event carried layers of symbolism. At the same time, the choice of minimalism reflected Jungkook's personality. Understated yet powerful, simple yet striking. For his fans, seeing him in Calvin Klein attire was like witnessing a dream fulfilled. This was not just an idol attending a fashion show, it was the world's most prominent music star seamlessly blending into the realm of fashion while retaining his authenticity. The outfit became more than an ensemble. It became a statement of where Jungkook stands today, at the crossroads of music, fashion, and global influence. Outside, ARMY could not contain their emotions. Some had tears streaming down their faces, overwhelmed by the sheer joy of seeing their idol take part in such a moment. Others screamed his name so loudly that security struggled to contain the energy. The raw emotion expressed by fans wasn't only about admiration, it was about pride. Many ARMY members have followed Jungkook's journey since he was a teenager. They remember the early years when BTS was still finding its footing in the music world. To now see him step confidently into an international fashion show as one of the brand's biggest ambassadors is deeply emotional. It feels like a victory not just for Jungkook, but for everyone who has supported him along the way. Social media echoed this sentiment. Thousands of tweets and posts described the emotional weight of the moment. Some fans wrote about how surreal it felt to see Jungkook not only performing on global stages, but also dominating in fashion. Others mentioned how proud they were to see someone from Korea breaking barriers in industries that had long been dominated by Western figures. For Calvin Klein, Jungkook's presence was nothing short of a strategic masterpiece. Fashion shows are typically about showcasing new designs, but this event had something much bigger a story. The story of a global superstar bridging music and fashion. The story of fans who transform a brand event into a cultural phenomenon. And the story of a legacy fashion house embracing modern global identity. Executives from Calvin Klein were undoubtedly aware of the stakes. The investment in Jungkook as a global ambassador was already paying off through campaigns, sales boosts, and heightened visibility. But having him physically attend the show transformed abstract marketing into tangible impact. Every photo taken, every video shared, and every scream from the crowd was proof that this collaboration had transcended traditional celebrity endorsement. Traditionally, fashion shows are exclusive affairs. Celebrities sit in the front row, editors report for niche audiences, and the public only sees the polished images later. But Jungkook's attendance disrupted that model. Suddenly, a fashion show became an event for the masses. Fans were not just observers, they were participants. The energy outside the venue was as much a part of the show as the models walking the runway. This shift signals something significant. The fashion industry must now consider fans as part of the ecosystem. Jungkook's fans are not passive consumers. They are active cultural players who amplify, reinterpret, and spread the brand's message across the globe. By inviting Jungkook, Calvin Klein effectively invited millions of ARMY members to their show. It is already being predicted that this Calvin Klein event could break multiple records. Online engagement, live impressions, and post-event sales are all expected to soar. Some experts even suggest that the show may surpass previous fashion events in terms of global reach. The logic is simple. When Jungkook is involved, numbers move. Consider past campaigns where Jungkook modeled Calvin Klein denim and underwear. Those products sold out within hours, proving his ability to influence consumer behavior. If the same effect follows this fashion show, the brand could experience one of its most successful seasons in history. From trending hashtags to skyrocketing demand for featured items, Jungkook has the power to transform a runway presentation into a global shopping frenzy. Perhaps the most striking part of this story is the sense of legacy it creates. For Jungkook, this is not just about being an ambassador, it is about building a bridge between cultures, industries, and generations. He represents the new wave of global stars who can navigate seamlessly between music, fashion, and culture without losing their identity. For ARMY, the moment will be remembered as one of the milestones in their shared journey with Jungkook. Just as they have celebrated his musical achievements, they will also look back on this day as proof of his influence beyond the stage. And for Calvin Klein, the partnership will likely be studied as an example of how brands can evolve to stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. By embracing Jungkook, they did not just secure a celebrity, they secured a cultural phenomenon.